Hello, we are the Change Makers. I am Dr. Cecilia Gillum. I work at Benjamin Franklin High School in New Orleans, Louisiana. I currently teach AP Environmental Science and Honors Biology.
And I am Rochelle Darville. I currently teach at West St. John High School in Edgard, Louisiana, and I currently teach 9th grade biology.
So to describe my school and classroom demographics, at Benjamin Franklin High School, our minority enrollment is 62.2%. A little context about the school: we are a selective admission school located near the University of New Orleans. And again, the students at this school are very driven and self-aware.
The demographics at West St. John High School is 100% African American with a 5 to 7% special education population. We've had several leadership changes, which has taken a toll on the student morale. Policy shifts that includes stricter rules on cell phones and hoodies, which students are really not happy about.
So as we did this, the mindsets that we centered in our design work were: we exercised your creative courage, we focused on human values, we attended to healing, we catalyzed opportunities to transform power,
build relational trust, seek liberatory collaboration, and practice self-awareness.
All right, so for our C, we chose empathy. So the questions that we asked our students were: when was the last time you felt happy at school and why? What about this school makes you feel good and why? What about this school makes you feel sad and why? And if you could design and or create a school environment, what elements would your environment have that would make you feel good and or happy? What we found were students said, I would find a way to have more social events to make more people feel like they belong. Another student said I would put up positive posters or messages that would show that everyone is accepted and can be themselves. I would also put up anti-bullying posters or messages to make sure to give the message that absolutely no bullying is allowed at this school. Another kid said more plants and make the setting and environment nicer to look at. The way the school becomes more fun and less depressing looking.
So for the methodology, we explained to our students what the project was all about. We engaged our students and involved them as co-designers in the process. We first gathered data through a survey administered during our first period classes. The students were given access to the link and given 20 minutes to complete the 11 questions, with the final questions being specifically about our classroom environment.
After collecting the survey responses, we organized a series of about 3 talk circles. We were creating a safe and open environment for students to share their ideas, thoughts, and suggestions because we wanted to ensure that their voices were central to the design and the decision-making process. We asked the students to reflect on how they experienced us as teachers and how they felt within our classroom spaces. My students said they wanted clarity on deadlines. Students did not understand the difference between soft and hard deadlines. And then the AP students, their request was, could we use my AP classroom less, because they felt as if it wasn't the best use of their time.
Students expressed that my instructions needed to be clearer and delivered at a slower pace. They suggested I do one-on-one time or personalized attention when they needed help. They suggested that I reduce the number of tasks that were given for assignments because they often felt overwhelmed or distracted, especially if the material felt unrelated. One student noted, by teaching about other stuff besides biology, we can talk about life.
So here's our action.
The prototype document that was created so students can voice their thoughts and opinion about the lesson modification.
This was feedback that we were asking the students to get their thoughts and their feelings so that we could learn how to maybe make some adjustments or fine-tuning our instructional approaches.
Sometimes we have to pivot and make changes to address things that we did not address the first time. I created a document to help my students track what assignments that they have completed.
I helped them to understand how to track their own progress and not just wait on the teacher.
What we learned from our second round of testing.
Students like having time to organize and determine what assignments they have completed versus which they have not. What we started to understand was students, it wasn't necessarily our lesson delivery that was the problem, it was more so their organizational skills. So this helped the students to kind of get to where they needed to go.
They begin to understand the purpose of our talks as a part of the healing process and sharing of their feelings without any feeling angry but feeling more empowered.
The students were given the opportunity to express their feelings about a particular issue that involves them.
It was basically an eye-opening experience because the scope of what we do in the classroom, we never considered the type of stress that students actually face. This process made us stop and reflect on our emotion as well as the emotions of our students.
All too often we are on go, go, go mode, and never do we take a time to just stop and listen to the learners who we are serving. So this will definitely help with that.